All right. How you doing today? This is introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Ion, and I came here to talk with Van about Fire Emblem Three Houses.
That sounded so rude of me. Just be like, "Yo, introduce yourself." Like I'm a rude person. My bad. Um
Uh, Sorry, I'm a little awkward. This is the first time.
no, same. So yeah, man. So how long have you been playing Fire Emblem? What's your experience with Fire Emblem? How long have you been playing it? How many games have you played? Just what's your overall experience with it?
Okay, well, the first time I played Fire Emblem, I think it was back in the day, in like 2007, maybe. I remember that the very first Fire Emblem game I played, I think it was Radiant Dawn. I always wanted to play Path of Radiance, but for some reason or another, I never got a GameCube. No, well, the GameCube copy of the game. For some reason, I never got it. But
Oh, so you never
but
played Path
luckily,
of Radiance, right?
no, sadly, I didn't. I
Ah.
really need to go and do it. I've only seen playthroughs. That's about it. I feel so bad for doing it.
That's cool. That's cool. So that's wow. So you've been playing Fire Emblem longer than I have, actually. Like 10 years longer than I
I
have.
see.
Because I started in 2017 with Awakening. You know, everybody's favorite game. So, uh,
Yeah.
so it was fun. To be honest, I didn't like Fire Emblem that much. I mean, I liked it, but I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna continue with it. Then I played Binding Blade, and then I played
Yeah, it's
Birthright,
one of those.
and then I
Yeah,
just went on like a
it's like.
freaking spree.
Yeah, I feel like the series is one of those games that the first time you are like, yeah, this is fine, and then it starts to grow into you, you know?
Yeah, like some series, like they definitely like I picked up immediately. Like obviously Pokemon, uh, Megami Tensei was also kind of easy-ish because it kind of resembled Pokemon in a way. But Fire Emblem is a tactical RPG. Well, strategy, mainly strategy RPG. There's actually a difference between the two. I'm pretty sure Fire Emblem is more tactics, though, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so it was kind of hard for me to pick up at first. But then once I started playing, I started also playing games like I started with a game called Stella Glow that introduced me to a whole like tactical shit. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun. Then I played like Devil Survivor and then Fire Emblem. So yeah, I've been playing Fire Emblem for about 2 years now, and it's crazy that we're finally getting a game that's on a TV console since
Yeah,
Radiant Dawn. It's been
been
forever.
along. Yeah, and it's really interesting, you know, because I thought it's really interesting because I didn't expand into it, but the reason I actually started playing Fire Emblem was because of Advance Wars, all the way back in the Game Boy Advance and the DS.
Okay.
That was my first approach to intelligent systems in general, and I really like those games. And I was curious to see what else they had done, and that's when I discovered Fire Emblem.
Hmm.
And like I said, the first game I played was, it was Radiant Dawn, and then I went to straight to Shadow Dragon, which I feel that a lot of people in the fandom are like don't like it like at all. They feel like it's so super dated, but
Shadow Dragon is
I
a
don't
bare
know.
bones game. Like I mean, it is a remake.
It's okay.
It is a remake, but you gotta understand, it's a remake of the very first game, like an ancient game. It's not like Pokemon Fire Red where they introduced like all the new mechanics into the old game, but it was just more of like it was just a bare bones game
Yeah,
with
but
some
you know,
additions.
I don't think like a lot of the criticisms of the fandom that they have for the game is that justified because I mean, yeah, it's old, and I mean it tells from the story and the characters and the maps and everything, but another things I actually feel that it's not that bad. And for the remake, something that I actually found quite interesting was the fact that the way you get the parallel stories and certain characters is by having certain number of of party members in following you. Like I think you need to have like around 15 at all times, and that's the only way you get those special stages. And I actually think that an interesting idea because normally in any Fire Emblem game you try to keep everyone alive, but
Yeah.
in this game, if you actually want to get the full picture, you need to play it multiple times, and you need to have sacrifices. And I actually think that will be interesting to see once again, maybe in a different way, but
Yeah.
it will be interesting to see.
Yes. So alright, so now we got that. Let's get to the meat of the video. The real reason why people came to this video, because I'm surprised people actually watch me. But so what do you think about Three Houses? What do you like most excited about? Because first of all, I'm just excited that we're getting a TV console game. That's just me. I'm really excited about that. That's why I like Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, even though I played on my 20 frames per second computer, which was it's fucking torture. But so what are you excited about Three Houses? Three Houses is looking pretty good. What do you like about it so far?
Well, what I really like about Three Houses is that it feels like a return of the well, first of all, it's the return of a game console, so that's pretty nice. It's been a while since we have it there, and
Over 10 years.
Yeah, for 10 years, and it shows. It really shows. Like, well, this is going to sound a little contradictory for what I just said. The first time I saw the graphics in game, I didn't feel that it was that big of a graphical improvement over what we have seen in Radiant Dawn. Really? But yeah, because like I don't feel it changed that much, especially the texture of the map. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they actually reutilize them. Like maybe they only add make them HD or something. But I didn't feel that there was that big of change. No, what I really liked on the graphical side was that the character models were like significantly more detailed than in Radiant Dawn, even if the scenarios don't look as impressive. Besides the new school, that monastery, I can't remember the name right now.
Yeah, I don't remember names. I honestly, like, when I watch trailers, not to cut you off, but like when I look at trailers, sometimes I don't even remember names. I'm just like looking at like the gameplay. I'm just like, oh, that looks so cool. Then like I think of their names. I'm like, who the fuck was that guy? So sometimes I don't remember shit too.
Yeah, but like besides that place, the game's not that graphically impressive, which I find it a little surprising. But the character models are really good, so there's that. On the other hand, it's like following the tradition of the series is like a brand new entry, and so we shouldn't expect more comparisons beyond that. But I'm intrigued and a little reserved because like well, I don't know how to put it, because on one hand, after seeing the increase in popularity of this series in the last years, I admit that I'm a little insecure about the path the series is taking. But on the other hand, I also feel that this could be the game that finally sets what we should expect for the series onwards, you know?
It's funny that you mentioned the popularity, because like today after I was working out, I went to Whole Foods to buy my like $8 dry ass rotisserie. Well, it wasn't dry. The rotisserie chicken was actually wet. But like when I get home and I eat the other half, it's fucking dry. It's miserable. But that's beside the point. But like I went today with my friend, and we were just talking about like Smash Bros. And he asked me like, who do I main? And I'm like, oh, I main Roy because he's my boy. And he's like, oh, the guy. He's like the guy from Fire Emblem. I'm like, what? Bro, you barely even know what Pokemon is. How are you gonna know what Fire Emblem is? Like, I thought it was really like, it was kind of weird. He's like, I know my shit too. Then when I put like a picture of like Jack Frost in front of him, like he has no idea what it is. I'm like, that's Jack Frost. He's like the fairy tale Jack Frost. I'm like, kinda, but like the SMT Jack Frost.
Well, at least he didn't show you the movie of the DreamWorks movie Jack Frost.
Yes, I thought that was kind of funny. It was like, he just came up with Fire. I'm like, how? I may have mentioned it one time, but like, he probably doesn't remember that. Then I'm like, oh, he knew that, so that was weird. And a lot of people actually don't. They see when a series becomes popular, that's when, like you said, it's insecurities. They get worried about what path they're going to take. You know, I know especially it's going on with Shin Megami Tensei, like the Megami Tenseis, where, you know, because let's face it, when are we getting SMT5 news again? Like, it's been forever. We got the trailer, the little bit of the trailer, that's about it.
I hope that in E3 we will finally see something. I don't think it's there, like some people are claiming. I still believe in that game, that we will eventually get it. I hope so.
I think we'll get it. It'll be good. The thing is, the point of that, what I'm trying to make is that like Persona now is like the forefront of Atlas, you know, which is the same way as like, you know, like it's probably not like really the same comparison, but like the way Awakening handles things, handle the game, all the improvements, all the
it's the way how Awakening has become the successful staple of what people expect.
It's become like the new standard almost. Like, and I hate saying that because I don't think any game series should have a standard person. They should have expectations, but not so much like a set standard. I think Awakening's becoming like that set standard. Like, especially if you look at a lot of people, especially like newcomers. I noticed I was talking to a few people. A lot of people didn't like Echoes that much. And I'm like, why? You know, because it just played different from Awakening, which is not wrong. You know, you can like Awakening, and you're free to like, you know, Awakening and Fates how they play. But I just find it very interesting that that person said that they didn't like Echoes because it didn't play that much like Awakening or Fates. I thought that was really interesting that he said that.
Yeah, that's because like you have said, Awakening has become the staple of what is expected from a Fire Emblem game, which is kind of interesting because I remember back in the day that for a lot of the fandom, Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance were the standards of what Fire Emblem should be. And if I recall correctly, I think that those Until Awakening, those two games, especially Radiant, Path of Radiance, were like the best-selling Fire Emblems to date in the Americas and Europe. They aren't that popular in Japan, curiously. I think it has something to do with the story that I think it's more akin of what people expect from an RPG or like that sort of game. But
because I think Path of Radiance,
it's quite interesting to see that.
Because I think Path of Radiance, in terms of story, it really stepped up the story. Like, I love the story of the Binding Blade story. I love Blazing Sword story. Sacred Stone story was really good. I feel like Path of Radiance was, and also I'm playing through Genealogy: The Holy War. I love that game to pieces. But I feel like Path of Radiance is where the story and the writing and the dialogue was when it really stepped up, like, very high. And then a lot of people.
To this day, I think it's arguably the peak, you know.
I think so too.
They have written so far.
Not so much Radiant Dawn, because Radiant Dawn is still a very fantastic game. You know, like, stop separating me from my main party. Let me use Ayek and Mia, and let me just kill everybody with those units. Don't make me use the Dawn Brigade, man. That's why Radiant Dawn pissed me off. But in terms of like gameplay and story, I think Path of Radiance really is the peak. And then when people saw Awakening, and to be honest, I enjoyed Awakening's story quite a bit, but some people, especially like the older fans, they said that that Awakening was like a downgrade from that. It was a downgrade from the story and world building of Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn. It was kind of like just more. And my reasoning for that is, Awakening is kind of like, you want to have a game accessible to newcomers. So I think dumbing down the story a little bit is kind of necessary for that, kind of necessary to achieve that. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where these people come from, because the Tellus games have undoubtedly like the best story, like so far the best story. I mean, you can make an argument that the genealogy of Holy War or even Thracia 776 or however it's called.
I say 776 because it sounds cooler.
Yeah, 776.
It's like when people say
that those games.
It's like when people say Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. I'm like, nah, 358. That sounds cool as shit.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, you could argue that those games like had a better story, but still the point stands that yeah, I can see where that comes from, but like, come on, I'm just happy that Awakening was successful, you know, because
Extremely.
like everyone like nobody knew until those that information came to light that if that game had failed, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. There wouldn't be any Fire Emblem aside from Smash Bros. Like it would be in the same place for other Nintendo franchises.
It's interesting, and it's interesting that you bring that up.
We had it. I'm just happy that it was successful and that we're having more Fire Emblems, to be honest.
Right, and I 100% agree with you. On the flip side, though, there are people that the counter argument to that is they would rather see the series die off in like dignity or something stupid like that. But no, it's not stupid. It's a good point. Some series you wish like maybe it should have ended, maybe it was its time to go. But I think Fire Emblem had a lot more to show, and I think Awakening really, thankfully, like you said, Awakening was successful. It brought in a lot of people. Now we have Fates, we have Echoes, we have Three Houses coming out, we have Warriors. Heroes 2 is also good for that because Heroes definitely brought in a lot. Heroes definitely brought in a lot of people. Like,
yeah, and I mean, not just because Awakening was popular doesn't mean that we won't have another one of those games like Fire Emblem or Holy War. I mean, in fact, because of the success of Awakening, even if it takes a while, we will eventually get a game that is once again like those. So I wouldn't get mad for the moment. I mean, I will advocate for having patience until we get those games.
I mean, Binding Blade and Genealogy remakes, they're 100% coming out. Like that's no question. Maybe I don't know about Genealogy. Oh, actually, no, Genealogy should. Genealogy is, in my opinion, the best game. Even though I only played pre FE6. I only played Genealogy so far. But I don't think anyone would disagree that Genealogy is probably the best pre FE6 game because it's amazing. It's phenomenal. Like to be honest, I kind of put off my streams for a little bit because I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna like FE4. I'm just gonna get burnt out, and like the people watching are gonna feel that. But man, I'm having an awesome time with the game, man. It's extremely fun. The maps are huge. It's kind of a pain, but so far I'm having fun with the game a lot. So.
Oh yeah, it really is. I mean, it really is a game to behold. Yeah, and speaking of Three Houses, we still haven't seen that much, but who knows? Maybe we'll see a return of big maps or even some stuff like that. You know what's something I actually really like, and it sounds stupid. I mean, it will sound stupid, but for some reason I actually think it's like genius. It's the fact that now, if I remember correctly, now when you are fighting, your character is not fighting alone against another generic character. Instead, it's like he has his squad team.
It's like the squad goals.
Yeah, he has his squad of generic soldiers that fight with them, and that's kind of, I really like that because for the longest time I always find it a little weird that like they were all these soldiers, but at the end of the day you were only controlling these characters,
the only unit,
characters alone against these generic soldiers and the occasional bad guy. So I know it sounds weird and dumb, but I actually really like that change.
I wonder if that's gonna be like a new mechanic to that. Like we have like it's gonna be like attack, hit, like crit, and then like at the bottom's like squad goals. Like like that'd be fun. Squad goals, that'd be funny. Like your squad goals are.
Imagine like if. Imagine if the squad goal is like you need to keep like 5 characters alive or like.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, if I have to keep 5 characters alive, well, there goes for my three houses run. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Yeah.
I fucked up.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, I cannot unsee the squad goals now.
But I think Three Houses, I don't know what direction it'll take. I think it's gonna take like we mentioned before. It's probably gonna take the direction of Awakening and Fates. But I think the biggest problem people have is what's the relationship between Byleth I'll just say Edelgard because I think that's like what everybody's going for. That's like the house everybody's choosing. Can you support Edelgard? Can you do that? That's a big concern. What people say. Some people are like completely down with it because it's like the Kawakami confidant in Persona 5. But I mean, but then again, it's like, I mean, it's kind of wrong. You're the teacher, It's like, it's a little wrong. So, for me, it's just
like that Van Halen song.
Yeah, it's like, for me, it's like I'm still mixed about it. Like, I do think Edelgard is definitely going to be a support by far. I just don't know if it's going to be an S support. If she is, or if any of the others, like was it Claude and Dimitri, right? Look, I got those names right. I can't remember. Claude and Dimitri.
Yeah, I think they were.
Claude and Dimitri. Yeah,
I think they are.
If they can S support with Byleth, like a lot of people are worried about that. Me personally, I'll wait and see. I'm not like too concerned about it because we're either gonna have a Kawakami confidant like thing in Three Houses, or we're just not. It's gonna be like a regular teacher-student relationship, not as supporting each other. So,
to be honest, I think that the support conversations this time are going to be more like what we saw in the Serious games, Path of Radiance, Red Dawn, that instead of like forming a romantic relationship and you went and had your children fight with you, it's going to be more like friendship, because that's how there were in those games. I believe that is how it will definitely be this time.
I think that's interesting. That's actually a good point because in Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn, no one really like ends up with each other. They just kind of go off and do their own thing, like, which kind of sucks because Mia's just lonely. Mia, I love you, please. But she says it does say she does stop by the mercenaries every once in a while, so that's good. So you're not always lonely. She basically just goes out and just fucks people up, and then takes their money. Well, not takes their money, but like she just fights people, and then goes back and chills with the Grail mercenaries. But
I mean, I think it's going to be like that way, and probably better written because like some of those were like really boring, to be honest. Some were really good, but most of them were like not that interesting or just plain bad. Mostly in the uninteresting part.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's going to be the way they are going to do them this time because, and we definitely seen that there will be there. I don't think it's going to be something like in Awakening or Fates.
I think
I mean, some people think it will be, but I don't.
It might be because that's kind of like the stand, like we mentioned, it's the standard now. Honestly, in terms of support conversations, by far as that goes, my favorite support conversations, like the way they handle things, are in Echoes. I think Echoes is by far like the best way to handle support conversations because they're very short. Like, I mean, yeah, it sucks they're done on the battlefield, so that's kind of a stinker. I think that's kind of dumb, but they're very short. They're very like to the point. They're very succinct. They're good, and they also bring out a lot of the characters. Good. Yeah, they bring out a lot of character development.
Some are really funny, especially the ones of what was their names again? The two mages that follow Celica.
Bowie and May.
Oh yeah, those were really good, for example.
And everybody has like, assuming you get their full support, everybody has like a set partner. So that kind of takes the fun out of like, mixing and matching and pairing and shipping and whatnot. But I kind of like that aspect as well. Just everybody has like Bowie ends up with May, Gray ends up with Claire, stuff like that. I think that it boring at times, but at the same time, I like that everybody has like a canon partner. That's another thing people debate about, who's a canon partner. Truth is, there's no canon partner. There's no canon like Jeff. It's just you pick who you want, you have the child,
and you let them be,
and you give them Astra and all these other broken shit, and you just kill everything with it. So
until they die.
Until
you have to reset again.
Until you die and you have to reset because the enemy got a crit with like 1% chance.
Yeah. and then you try to use the Emilio Storm wheel and realize you already used it, and so you have to reset the entire battle, or you just stop with it and feel sad inside.
The worst thing was like when I went to dungeons in Echoes, I didn't know that the turn wheel, your amount of turn wheels does not reset after every battle in a dungeon. So like if you're in a battle and you have, let's say you have 5 and you use 1, so now you have 4. Once that battle ends, you still have 4. I didn't know that. I really didn't know that.
Ouch. Oh, that I can imagine the pain.
Oh, it was very painful.
Yeah.
But so I think personally, I think the game is gonna be good. Another thing that really also kind of I'm curious about is the 3 houses. Well, yeah, it's called 3 houses. So I wonder if we can actually, are there 3 different routes? This is what I'm trying, like 3 different like routes we could go to. Like route 1, we could go to is it gonna be 3 routes? Like first playthrough we go Edelgard, second playthrough Dimitri, or is it gonna be like each route kind of melds into like one, or maybe you have to do something for each route or something, or I don't know. I think I hope it's kind of not like a Fates where it's like you play Yoshido, then you play Nora, then you play Revelations. I hope like it's more of like they all intertwine in one playthrough. You don't have to play through multiple times. Unless the game's extremely good, then I'd love to, but
I personally feel that it's going that I mean I know I say that we shouldn't expect that a direct comparison to the previous games, but what I will say is that Three Houses, for what we saw, especially after the last videos and information we received, that this is going to be that some things are going to be an amalgamation of previous games. I honestly think that one of the reasons Three Houses is because they will do something similar to Fates, in that there will be a turning point. I don't think at the beginning, but certainly by the mid game or end game, that you will have to, like, I don't know, the negotiations will go down, and the war is imminent, and the country is going to fall in chaos, and
we're all gonna die.
Which family? Exactly. So you need to choose a house, and that will be the destiny. I'm pretty sure that's something that's going to happen.
It's like I choose Gryffindor.
I'm willing to bet even that there's going to be a neutral route.
A neutral route. This is because like SMT,
like you somehow convince every one of the 3 houses to betray their families and stay in this school, and then it will become a new faction or something. Who knows?
Then all of a sudden,
I wouldn't be surprised though.
Then all of a sudden, like Merkaba and Lucifer just come in and be like, "Nah, law, chaos, not Lucifer."
Maybe. Well, in this case, it will be like Naga and Doom or something.
Naga and Doom. It's like, nah, I'm just trying to go neutral, fam.
Exactly.
Like, where's Dagda? Like, I'll follow. Actually, no, Dagda was more like. Dagda, like, he was neutral in that he didn't care about Lucifer and Merkaba, but he wanted to do his own shit.
I would say he's chaotic neutral, though.
Yeah, he is, like, because he has no relation. He honestly doesn't care. I think that's one big part about neutral characters. They don't care.
Or more precisely, anarchy neutral.
Anarchy. And then
anarchy neutral because of the A.
Until he gets reborn to the Bonds ending, then it's Bonds neutral.
Yeah, Bonds neutral or anarchy neutral. Whichever the case, I do think that there will be routes in this game. Who knows how it's going to work? Hopefully, it's going to be better done than in Fates. I really didn't like Fates, to be honest.
Yeah, the writing.
I tried to play them. I couldn't. I just couldn't.
Gameplay, except for Revelations, I hate Revelations with a passion. In my opinion, Birthright's okay, but the gameplay in Conquest is phenomenal. It's one of the best we ever had, in my opinion. I genuinely believe that in Conquest has some of the best gameplay the series has ever seen. Because it's challenging.
Yeah, I feel that Conquest was like the balanced version of the hard difficulty of Radiant Dawn, because I don't know I don't know how many people know it, but there is this thing with Radiant Dawn that for some reason some unsung villain at Nintendo mistranslated the difficulty settings, and
like
instead of being normal, easy, normal, and hard, that's what it says in the English version. In the Japanese version, it is normal, hard, and maniac.
Yeah,
a lot of people went like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to play on easy.
Yeah,
I
like
want to
it-
play on normal." And then
I'm
they are
not
like,
playing on easy.
Yeah,
Who do you
they are
think I
bad.
am?
Yeah, but you're playing in no, you don't know,
Yes.
and then you go normal and you get your ass whooped because it's in hard already, and then you go in hard and you die because it's the maniac difficult.
And it's crazy that one little error almost fucking killed the series. Like, it's crazy
Yeah.
that one little thing.
I'm pretty sure it affected the sales because Raiden Dawn didn't sell as good as Path of because Raiden Dawn didn't sell as good as Path of Radiance. And I'm pretty sure that's why. And to this day, if you ask anyone in the Fire Emblem fandom, they will tell you that Conquest was hard, really hard, maybe even harder than Raiden Dawn, but boy, Raiden Dawn is hard.
Yeah,
it is.
Like Radiant Dawn is like when you're with like the I call them the Scrub Brigade because let's face it, that's what they are.
Yeah, they are. Some of them are fine, but yeah,
like,
they are the Scrub Squad.
Soth is good. Nolan is fine. When you get Jill, that's pretty much all who I use. Jill and Z-Hark. More Jill because she's a flyer. But
yeah, you got
like
in both games.
Like when you use the Scrub Brigade, it's hard as shit. But when the Grell Mercenaries come, it's like, bro, I could just take care of everything. It's like the balance is off because you have the Grell Mercenary parts are pathetically easy when you're using them because
yeah, I mean Titania can one shot everyone. Boy, it's a fucking tank.
Like
Mia, it's insane.
Nephany, well, Nephany's kind of a toss up.
Oh yeah, Nephany, my muse, it's also really amazing.
Yeah, but she's kind of like, some people say she's bad in Radiant Dawn, but for me she was a fucking monster. She got, I think, like the second most kills in Radiant Dawn for me.
Yeah, in my gameplay playthrough in particular, she tanked a full attack from the Black Knight and she survived, and she even was able to counter it. I mean, she didn't do any damage, but she survived.
I don't think anyone's doing damage.
Yeah, and it was amazing, but yeah. I don't agree that she's trash. She's awesome. She's my muse, just like Mia is yours.
Yo, Mia is like by far my favorite. Like, I just love Mia so much. I have such a, I don't know, I just love her. Not because of the cutscene, but just in general. In Path of Radiance, I loved her in Path of Radiance. So can't use that reason. You can't use the cutscene as a reason why I love her. But
yeah.
It's unbalanced. The game is in my opinion, is a little unbalanced because, like I said, you got the Grell Mercenary parts, which are easy, the Scrub Brigade parts, which are hard as shit.
Easy.
Then you got the Crimean Army, which, depending on,
it's like sort of in the middle.
Yeah.
Really. But yeah, it's really infuriating when you are as the Grell Mercenaries, and then the story turns you back to the Scrub Squad, and for some godforsaken reason, they are at the same level you left them.
It's like,
I don't understand why they did that.
It's like y'all didn't like lift weights, like y'all didn't y'all didn't juice up or something. Like, come on.
Like it's been some months. I don't want you to be the Grell Mercenaries, but come on, you are supposed to be the Radiant, idiot me. You are supposed to be the Dawn Brigade. Come on, you are supposed to be like the new elite of the kingdom. Come on, what's this? You're only giving me these special weapons that even if some of your characters aren't that leveled up, they can use them or use them to their potential. Like, come on, Insolent Systems, why do you hate us?
Like, whenever Micaiah actually doubled something, I like marked it on my calendar. Like, holy shit, Micaiah doubled something.
Yeah, like at that point of the game, only Micaiah and his name was Soth, right?
Soth.
His companion, his wife, his husband.
Yeah, Soth.
Yeah, like at that point, yeah, only both of them are like viable at that point, and Soth is like a big what if.
Like, Nolan's good. Like, Nolan's pretty good. I just didn't train him up because I just kind of hate the Dawn Brigade in general.
No, to be honest, he doesn't scale that good. I can tell you that. He's really not worth it.
Like, Micaiah and Soth were like the only Dawn Brigade members I used in the end game. The rest of them were just Grell, and I think I used Marcia too, and I used Marcia and did I use Kieran? I think I might have used Kieran too. think, yeah.
I used Jill. I definitely did.
Dude, Jill, I think got actually like the most kills on my team.
That's about it.
Like, and what sucks because I recruited her as when I was controlling Har. I recruited her, and like the next Scrub Brigade chapter I did, I was like, what have I done? Like, I just fucked up. But I
think that helps Jill on like the rest of the Scrub Brigade is that you can actually recruit her back into the guerrilla mercenaries and have her for the rest of the game with them. And so on one hand it helps you to keep leveling her up, but on the other hand, on the last map of before the whole end game, you actually have to fight her. Well, she comes back and you can end up fighting her again, and then that comes biting you in the ass, you know.
Yeah, it's like why would you recruit Jill to the Grell mercenaries? That's like bringing sand to the beach. Like you don't need that. Like, but speaking of difficulty, how hard do you think this game's gonna be? How hard do you think Three Houses is gonna be? I think personally it's gonna be not that difficult. Like, I think it's gonna be harder than Awakening and Sacred Stones and definitely Birthright, but I don't see it being as hard as something like Conquest.
Already. Yeah, I think it's going to be in the middle. I mean, this is like we said, this is the first game in a while that we get in the console. This is going to be a very important moment for the franchise, so I don't think they want to alienate people. It's going to be in the middle, definitely.
I think it's gonna be somewhere, maybe Path of Radiance difficulty, maybe slightly harder, but I don't see it being too difficult. Like I said, unless you go like Lunatic and stuff like that, which I never do because I'm kind of a pussy. But
yeah, no, it's understandable. Lunatic can be generally bullshit.
But yeah, no, I personally, in my opinion, I think this game is going to be great. Some people are pretty... I've seen both reactions. Like, I'm on Reddit a lot, so I see both reactions. I see some people are optimistic about this game. Some people are kind of pessimistic, and some people are just in the middle. Me, I'm more of the optimistic side. I think this game is going to be pretty good. I think really it's going to be a very good welcome back to TV consoles for Fire Emblem, and it's just going to be a fun game.
Yeah, I personally am more on the middle because I still have some of my doubts on the story side, and I'm still unsure of how well it will fit this school setting and the mechanics that it will involve. Like, I think that is something that I won't be sure until I actually play it. But yeah, I have a hope for it, but at the same time I am a little cautious, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be. We just need to see more. That's it. We just need to see more. Well, we're gonna see a lot more in when is it coming out? In 4 months, when it comes out. So no, I didn't pre-order it yet. A lot of people are actually saying like you shouldn't pre-order it for some reason. I actually don't know the whole story behind that, but some people are actually complaining about like pre-ordering.
I know that.
Yeah, some people are like canceling. Like a lot of people are canceling their pre-orders. I personally I don't know the whole story behind it, but usually I pre-order games. For some reason I didn't, and I guess it was a good thing I didn't. Maybe I'll pre-order it maybe in like a month or so. I already pre-ordered Persona Q2, so I should have pre-ordered Three Houses when I was there. But it's whatever. It is what it is. I'll probably pre-order maybe next month or something.
I'll tell you this. I really like the box art of the special edition. I think it's also like something spoilery that we don't know yet, but I really like it. I don't know why. It's quite fitting, you know.
Yeah, as long as freaking Claude isn't upside down, like like yeah. That was so weird. Like I think they just forgot to add him. They're like, oh fuck, we forgot to add Claude, so they just added him, and then they were. It looks so ridiculous. Like I'm looking at it right now. It looks so like if he was on like. They should have, in my opinion, like they should have like turned him upside, like right side up, move Dimitri and Edelgard down, and then move the Byleth and the castle behind them up. I think that would have been better. But
I can't believe it hasn't been memed until, to be honest, like it has so much meme potential. Like,
oh, it does.
To put Spider-Man or something, I don't know.
Three Houses turning the series upside down.
Yeah. On the other hand, what do you think about the new mysterious dragon lolly character. Eh?
Sothis?
What do you think about her?
I think her fans are going to jail. I made a video about it. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if you saw the video I made. It's like 5 seconds long. But it just like...
I saw.
You saw it? Yeah, it was just like Sothis fans be like, I'm going to jail!
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
What do I think about her? I don't know, man. Like, I think she's probably gonna be like a spirit inside of him. I think that's like the popular opinion right now, is that she's probably gonna be like a spirit inside of him that he like goes and communicates with. It could be.
You know, now that you say it that way, I'm thinking that like they are in class and then suddenly she starts talking to him and then he or she starts talking to him and everyone's like, oh my god, my teacher is schizophrenic or something.
Well, of course she's probably gonna be like 1,000 years old because
Because of course.
Yeah, because you know.
They don't want you to go. They don't want you to feel that you are going to Yale, of course.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, I'm a Naui fan. No, I'm kidding. Naui fans are cool, but I like Naui a lot. She's a good character, but like I don't, don't like her as much as certain people.
That this character, whose name is revealed, but I just don't remember her right now, is that she's going to be sort of like Kiki, but not awakening Kiki. Shadow Dragon Kiki is more what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
Which is kind of, from a continuity point, it's a little weird because Kiki in Shadow Dragon technically is already very old, but she's still just a toddler.
Because
she's old for human standard, but for Dragon standard, she's really young. But of course, she's older for us,
Right.
So who knows? Maybe, just maybe, that's what it's going to be. Leaving aside if she's a spirit or no, that's going to be. I believe that's going to be the explanation of why she looks so young, because it's going to be like
either that.
Yeah, I'm young, but I'm actually like 1,200 years old. I don't know.
I'm actually a goddess. I think she'd probably be I could see her being like a goddess too.
I'm just hitting puberty though.
I'm 1,000 years old. Y'all can't go to jail. Yes, you will.
Yes, you will if I'm out. Or if not, you will end in the sanatorium because they think you're crazy.
Oh man, so
either way you're screwed.
You're screwed, yeah. God, don't be like that. No, I'm just kidding. In my opinion, you can like whoever you want. It doesn't matter. But yeah, you can like whoever you want. But yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything we have, really. That's all the information I think we have as of now.
Which is interesting because the game is not that far away from coming, and even though we've had information, it surprisingly hasn't been that much.
It's not that much at all, and like I don't know if they're gonna release more information. Like I don't really keep up with like news and stuff like that because I'm a lazy fuck and I'm also playing Bandori like 24/7. But I don't know, maybe if they're gonna like give us more news like, I don't know, a month before release. Like I don't know. I feel like they're cutting it. I feel like we're close enough to the point where it's like we kind of it'd be weird if they release more news. I mean, I'd be happy if they did, but I feel like we're already so close that we really don't. I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of unnecessary at this point. I think like we're just too close to release date.
Yeah, I hope that we will get a demo. I really want this thing to have a demo. Actually, one of the things that influenced me to go and buy Awakening, because when Awakening I really liked it, but I was also a little not sure if how it was going to be. So, but they had a demo and I played it and it was like, okay, this is good. I'm going to buy it, and hopefully this game will also get a demo. So I cannot have that moment of decision to be like, okay, I'm going to pre-order the special edition, or I will wait until launch day or whatever.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm just gonna buy, regardless demo or not. I'm definitely gonna pick up this game. I think it's gonna be a great game. I have high hope, not like super high hopes, but I do have a positive outlook on this game. I think it's gonna be just fine. I think it's gonna be a very, very great game. It's gonna be fun to play, and I can't wait. If I find a way to stream it, like, although my computer's a toaster, so that's probably not on the cards, but yeah, I guess that's.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I also really hope it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be bad.
Not at all.
That's something. I don't think it's going to be a bad game.
There's gonna be good parts and bad parts, but you know what? That's every video game. Even the best have parts that people don't like. So, yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps up everything we have. Anything you want to say? Anything else?
Well, thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to Van here, and if you want to read more of my opinions, you can follow me at Twitter at Alex.
I'll put you in the description.
Exactly. I mostly tweet in Spanish because I'm from Mexico, but every once in a while I'll also write things in English. So
hey, I'm half Spanish too.
Ah, that's really nice. But anyway, yeah, I think that's about it. And thanks you for hearing us out. And we're not experts. We're not.
And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ian, for joining here. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And daily reminder to play Bang Dream Girls Band Party. It's a great game. You guys should all play it. I'll see you on the next time. Peace. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.